Announcements for CSL Greater Baltimore for August 13th, 2023. Just a reminder, Sunday service is moved back to 10 a.m. Pre-service meditation and music with Sunday celebration service starting at 10:30. And we're meeting virtually for the rest of the summer until further notice. Educational opportunities with CSL Greater Baltimore. The Thursday night study group at 7:30 Eastern Time with Sue Monahan, licensed spiritual practitioner. Go to our website, cslgreaterbaltimore.org, to find the link to join. Look for upcoming offerings from CSL Greater Baltimore soon, also at our website. And for more online educational opportunities, you can go to our home office, csl.org/spiritual development. Visit cslgreaterbaltimore.org to learn more. Our new class offering, Spiritual Principles and Practices. Living the best life possible takes practice, practice, practice. Or you could say, practices, practices, practices. Discover proven practices that bring spiritual principles into action, allowing you to manifest a desired goal or intention. Through this course, which offers spiritual practices and their methods that you can begin to use now, you will begin to see results and changes in your life. The textbook for this course is This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, starting Monday, September 11th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. This 5-week certificated course lasts about 2.5 to 3 hours, led by Reverend Kathleen Sibley. For more information or to register, email info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Join CSL Greater Baltimore at our next board meeting, Sunday, August 20th, directly after service in the Zoom room. Visit our website for the link. Building community one conversation at a time. Join us the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information, find the link at cslgreaterbaltimore.com. Quote of the week: bake cakes, learn how to code, volunteer, start a book club, design a logo. It doesn't matter. Keep experimenting until you find what speaks to you. Aaron Ito's blog on betterup.com. Quote of the week. A long time ago, a friend told me there's a difference between whittling and carving. One is just killing time. The other is laden with purpose. Keep carving. From Bob Goff. We regret to inform you that our World Peace Party is canceled, but we're still standing for peace. The Centers for Spiritual Living Heart of Peace Initiative is pleased to present a series of peace meditations for your use at any time. To access the meditations, please use the QR code on the screen or go to oneheartretreat-center.org/GHOP-peace-on-demand. For more peace, visit our website at csl.org/spiritual-community/heart-of-peace. Save the date, February 19th through 22nd, 2024, for our Spiritual Living Convention to be held in Charleston, South Carolina. Together, we're a force of love. More information coming soon. Science of Mind Archives offers a Lunch and Learn series facilitated by the Archives Board President, Reverend Dr. Jim Van Cleve. New for 2023, and join us as we listen to a rarely heard audio of Dr. Ernest Holmes and then engage in a lively discussion around his talk. To join us live on the third Thursday of the month at noon Mountain Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Use the following Zoom link as shown on the slide. Question of the week for Tune In Tuesdays with Reverend Soni Cantrell Smith, CSL's spiritual leader. Can the spark of spiritual enlightenment truly ignite positive change in the world, or is it merely a fleeting flame in the vastness of human existence? Reverend Soni hosts Tune In Tuesdays, and the next one is September 5th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring your thoughts, insights, and questions. Go to csl.org/calendar to register. Join us for visioning today after service in the Zoom room. CSL Greater Baltimore offers many opportunities to volunteer, connect, and engage. Interested in community outreach, fundraising, maybe part of the online production team? Would like to help with coordinating and producing an event? If you'd like to contribute, we say yes. Connect with any CSLGB board member for more information.
Good morning. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. My name is Frank Mastoris. I am the practitioner of the day. Today's morning meditation will be a visualization meditation. Allow yourself to close your eyes, to relax. Allow yourself to sink into the chair or the couch or whatever you're seated on. Take a deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in and release. Take a third deep breath in and allow yourself just to release at your own pace. Visualize yourself being on the edge of a little hill, and you're overlooking a beach, and the waves are coming in and they're going out, and then they're rhythmically coming in and going out. And to your right, you see a set of stairs. Beautiful wooden stairs. Take a step down. One step down. 2 steps down, 3 steps down, 4 steps down, 5 steps down, and you come down to a landing. And when you reach the landing, just allow yourself to see a chair, a beautiful heart-shaped red chair sitting on the beautiful golden sand. Allow yourself to go there. Just gently walk. Walk gently upon the earth of your own heart. As you reach the chair, just allow yourself to gently sit. And settle gently in that chair. And turn your focus away from the beautiful sound of the ocean. It's there, and acknowledge it to be there. But go inward into your heart and your heart center. That beautiful place within us where we feel everything. So ask your heart the question, what is my passion? What calls me? What does God want to express through me? What does God want me to release in order for this passion to be made manifest? This heart call to come forth. What must I embrace to fully express this passion? What action must I take to make this passion be expressed in the world? In your mind's eye, Allow yourself to know, to feel, and to experience your passion already being done, already being expressed, already happening. Everything starts in mind. So, in your mind, know that it's already happening. Not with just words, but visualize it already happening with words and sounds. Can you hear your passion happening? Can you see your passion happening? Can you feel your passion happening sensorially? Can you emotionally feel your passion happening? Now allow yourself to come back to the red chair. If you've left it, if you have not left the red chair, just be present to that moment, bringing back that truth of the expression of your passion on all levels. Bless it. Bless the passion that God has has in you that wants to express through you. say thank you to God within you as you for that passion that calls your heart. Now rise from the chair and again hear the sounds of the ocean, the beautiful waves lapping against the rock and against the beach. And gently walk back to the stairs. Walking gently so as not to even injure the earth or your heart or any part of you. As you reach the stairs, take a step up, one step up, two steps up, third step, fourth step, fifth step in the landing. Feel yourself just seated there and standing on that step for just a brief moment. And allow yourself to be present where you physically are in this very moment. And open your eyes. Be present in the here now, knowing that your passion has been fulfilled in mind and now coming into form. And so it is. Namaste.
Hush now, little baby, go back to your sleep. And while you're there, maybe find your soul to keep. Find your soul to keep. Listen very closely. Listen close to me. Reality is blindness. Life lives in the trees. Life lives in the trees. Breathe it in. Let it out. You know what it's like to live in love. Live in love. Go now, little baby. Go now on your own. Live in peace and kindness, queen of your own throne, king of your own throne. Breathe it in, let it out. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to live in love. Live in love. Live in love.
Good morning, CSL Greater Baltimore. We are so glad that you're here with us. My name is Dana Cole, and I am your host for today. You just heard from the lovely Safi Lin, who is an international medicine musician, vocal coach, and retreat facilitator, ceremony guide. And as you can see, they offer their music and meditations as medicine to illuminate our connection. It was a beautiful song. Thank you, Safi. And then we had the lovely pre service meditation delivered by our practitioner of the day, Frank Mastoris. Thank you very much, Frank. And our speaker today is Reverend Jenna Wexler. We're so glad that you can join and be with us today. Tell a friend, tell a family member, invite everybody that you know to come and join with us. We love you and we appreciate you and we honor you and namaste. We see and recognize the God in you. We will now have our opening prayer delivered by Frank Mastoris.
I give thanks. And I give thanks because I know that in this moment and in every moment, there is God. When we use the name God, we limit it, but it's the best we can do with what we know now and what we have. I sometimes love to call it I am the I am, that which is from the beginning, which is in the end, which is everywhere present. It is everywhere present. It is in every cell, every tissue, every organ, everything. Every atom is made up of the substance of God. Everything that surrounds us, the very air we breathe, has God in it and is made of God itself. And I know that because I am one with God, each and every one of us is part of that same divine expression, moving forward as one divine synchronous, yet sometimes appearing chaotic. It's all one beautiful symphony of life expressing. I know today, as we move forward into this service, I am grateful for our beloved musician Safi, who brings us her beautiful melodies. I am grateful for Reverend Jenna for her sharing her wisdom, her love, her joy, her peace, her passion. I am grateful for our producer, Dana, who lovingly gives her time and opens the doors for us to share the message of love and joy, passion and purpose, because it's all good. And I give thanks for this service, knowing it's done in mind and done in form. I give thanks for each and every person listening to this service now and those who will hear it later on tape. I give thanks because it's completely, perfectly expressing. And I release this to the law knowing it's done in mind and it is done in form. And so it is.
Honoring the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. On the first Sunday, and apparently the second Sunday of each month, we honor each person on their select path and we bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life affirming nature of spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person. And you can visit cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com/events to see our events and announcements. And they were also delivered earlier in the service. Prayer works. So we, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for ourselves and everyone on the planet. That prayer, working with that divine force, working with the thing itself, yeah, works. So I beseech you to use spiritual mind treatment. And if you don't know how to, you can send a prayer request to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. You can contact any of the practitioners, Frank, myself, Marianne, or Sue, and we'll be happy to pray with you. And next, we'll have a musical selection from Safi Lynn.
Bittersweet this life that's taken me on this ride. Bittersweet the pain that sheltered me from the rain. Why am I fighting? What lies behind me are just seasons of growth. What am I learning? Stay completely still until I find my focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on my breath. Bittersweet the truth. It flows like waterfalls between me and you. Bittersweet this time. We've come together, but we don't know the next rhyme. Why are we fighting? Lies behind us are just seasons of growth. What are we learning? Stay completely still until we find our focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on our similarities, our peace and our clarity, love and humanity, all in this together. Bittersweet is death, but what is life without this old friend? Bittersweet our goodbye, but I know I'll see you on the other side. Why are we fighting? What lies ahead of us are seasons of growth. What are we learning? Stay completely still until we find our focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on my breath.
Wow. Thank you, Safi.
Thank
That
you,
was
Dana.
beautiful. Thank you. And next, we will have Frank Mastoris guide us through a spiritual practice.
Good morning again. Our spiritual practice today is a contemplation. And I really want you to hear this. And I really want you to think about it. And I really want you to take action on it. There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. So I'm going to ask the question, are you living a life that is less than the one that you are capable of living? Are you living your purpose, whatever that purpose may be? Take some time to contemplate that. So again, I read the statement as we move to the next and listen to Reverend Jenna. There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a small life that is less than the one you are capable of. Live a bigger life. Live a life of passion. Live a life of purpose. Live the life of your dreams. And so it is.
Thank you. Reverend Jenna first found Science of Mind when she visited the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in 1996. She became a practitioner in 2002 and then pursued ministerial training under Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Proctor. She became a licensed practitioner. She became licensed, as a minister in 2007 and celebrated her ordination in 2017. Her passions have always been teaching science of mind classes and focused ministry of sacred activism. I give you Reverend Jenna.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be your speaker this morning. And it's a beautiful morning. I'm Reverend Jenna. Our theme for the whole year of 2023 is Living Out Loud. And our theme for August is Passion. Today we have this exciting topic that is about purpose and passion. My passion, my purpose. So we're going to be delving into really identifying our passions and our purpose, and how do we weave those together. I want to start with a quote by Bob Goff from Dream Big. A long time ago, a friend told me there's a difference between whittling and carving. One is just killing time, and the other is laden with purpose. Keep carving. Well, it may be a little bit, I don't know if it's whittling, if whittling is really killing time. Sometimes, when we do that, we are relaxing and allowing ourselves to be open, to be guided. Or maybe it's a way of developing skill. I've heard that to acquire mastery requires thousands and thousands of hours of regular practice. But we'll get into that more as we go on today. So our theme today is percolating our passion with purpose. And we could switch that around and say percolating our purpose with passion. So we're going to explore how both of those are connected and how do we cultivate them. Let's start with an analogy about fire. Passion would be the fuel that's needed to make that fire burn. And purpose is why did we light the fire to begin with? So we see that purpose is about what we're doing, but passion is that energy, that vitality, that excitement that inspires and also gives us stamina to keep it going. Because sometimes, we start with a big oomph of passion and then it can dissipate. So there's some things we need to do to foster both of those, just like we need to continue to put kindling and branches and wood on the fire, for example. So you may have gone over this last week, but let's start into this fresh today. What is passion? Well, we know it by many ways. Sometimes people, I've read this in a number of places. Sometimes we confuse or associate passion with that which may be part of a romantic relationship or, sexual passion, that sort of thing. But passion can show up in so many ways. And it shows up as a sort of a driving force, that fire, that moves us. And it's something that we feel naturally if we're not suppressing it, if we're not saying no to it. So it is something that is present within us. We are designed, we are divine emanations, and this is part of the package that we are. So it's a driving force, and it's natural. Passion is nonverbal. It's an emotive aspect, a lot of times centered in our heart rather than our brain. And, we can confuse things when we put the brain ahead of the heart with regard to passion. It's what we feel when we are joyfully aligned in our essence, in our talent, in some activity, in we are expressing our authenticity. Now, in common culture today, we hear people say, when I get into the zone, I'm in the zone. Or when I lose track of time when I'm doing, something particular. And that is also a signal to us of passion, where, the outer world disappears and we are so aligned in that inner world and where it is taking us, and we are saying yes to it and really flowing with it. It's a vitality. And the key is that passion, it's not rational and it's not mental. Oh, but Science of Mind sort of focuses on mental. We'll talk about that. But it's a vitality because it is part of our divine beingness. And it may not be practical. So sometimes, we think about, oh, I would love to do this, but can I make money from it? Can I succeed? It doesn't seem practical. And that is the rational mind, the outer world speaking to us, rather than being aligned and being in that faith and trust place that, ooh, I'm recognizing this as a divine calling or a divine inspiration because it feels so good and I am so authentic in it. Another thing is that passion requires action. And this is true of our teaching, our Science of Mind teaching, is that we understand it. We can learn the principles, we can learn the tools, we can learn prayer and meditation and so on and so forth. But it requires action, it requires practice. And so does our passion to really become skillful with it. Another interesting thing about passion is that as humans, we can override it. Another way that we can do that is it's almost like a toggle switch. We can say yes and let it rip, turning it on, enjoying it, allowing it to keep coming. Or, if we're in an override mode or think that it's impractical, or we've always heard from society or family or whomever that, this is not worthy, then we can shut it down and turn it off. So we're called to allow it as part of our vitality, our vital living, and to be in introspection about those messages we're hearing that may prompt us to choose to shut it down. So I spent a lot of time with the concordance and our text, The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And I found that the words passion, I think there were perhaps only 3 cases in the concordance, 3 pages, paragraphs actually, where passion was mentioned. And in all of those cases, it was with, he was associating it with something that could be a misalignment or something that's being suppressed. And 2 of those cases were in chapters about how do we treat for healing, and that suppressed or misaligned or wrongly directed passion could be a cause for disorder. On the positive side, I want to ask you to consider that passion is like faith. It supports us through difficulty. It gives us stamina. In fact, there are a number of positive benefits of passion and letting ourselves be alive in that. That it's asking us to be present, let that passion be alive in us in ways that really support us, and to trust that even if the outer world or our family or whoever has sent us the signal, well, why are you doing that? Or that's not going to work, or that's inappropriate. That if that's what we're called to, we are going there in faith and trust that we will be guided in terms of how we can incorporate this in our lives in a positive, productive way. Passion is what fills our cup when we're feeling that our cup is, not up to the brim. So how do we find our passion? There are a lot of articles on the internet. Some of them are career focused. Some of them are simply, authenticity focused. But the gist of it is start by dedicating some time to a life review in which you go back over your life and look at, when have I been most alive, successful, productive, happy? What just brings that enthusiasm through me, that brightness? How am I present today? What do I have, the channels completely open to be, for passion to be flowing, or have I closed it down or turned it off? And if I have, what has prompted me to disallow it, to shut it down? And oftentimes we'll find that when we ask ourselves that and notice that we've shut something down, there's some fear or contradiction associated with it. And then that's that invitation to go into introspection, prayer, spiritual work, perhaps work with a practitioner or a minister to take a look at, what can I release now and free up, and how can I move more confidently into my authenticity and let that passion just be that expansion of life and growth within me that brings me into living a brighter, more alive life. And also take note of if we've made some excuses about why we can't let that passion or that activity be full throttle in us. So here are some other things that passion does for us. It increases our self-confidence. It lowers stress levels, not because there's no stress, but the stress when we're doing something that we have passion for and purpose for. Yeah, we might have a deadline, or like if technology throws us off, everything was cooking along well for our deliverable, and all of a sudden technology was interrupted. That's a momentary stress as compared to those who are living without passion, where stress is a continual element of life rather than just, a spot here and there. Passion is what helps us become more dedicated and diligent in mastering our work-life balance, and also mastering our talents and our skills that are on that passion threshold that we want to have more of in our lives. So part of that more of in our lives is personal growth, expanding out of our comfort zone, but because we're choosing it, because we're pulled passionately to go beyond where we are. And we become more grateful and filled with gratitude because life feels better. And so there's so many benefits of, in encouraging and instilling, working and allowing passion to be present. So in terms of cultivating it, allow it, and allow spontaneous action. That's actually part of what's required, in quotes, for passion. Again, identify what's closing it down and do that shadow work in terms of what are those blockages and releasing those fears. It means taking a risk, but taking a risk out of joy. Like last year, I decided to build raised beds in my backyard. I'd never done that before. There was a little bit of risk in terms of, was I choosing the right sealer that's food safe, and so on and so forth. But, it was a passion because I love gardening. And we cultivate it by being diligent, by endurance, by dedication. It's not all about exuberance, because that's sort of like a sprint. And passion with purpose is about being working the long game, that long arc, and building mastery. So the passion helps us when we're doing it on a sustained basis, on like allowing something frequently in our lives is what allows us to keep fueling that fire rather than just a hot spark that goes out like an ember. And passion breeds more passion. So, how do we combine that, marry that with purpose? And purpose is something that confounds us. How many life coaches, how many self help books have we tapped into about why am I really here? What's mine to do? And sometimes I think we're looking, I know this has been true of me, of something grandiose or something that might lead to fame and fortune. And yet I've learned that when I go through the layers of what am I here for, I really realize I'm here to be a more peaceful being as much as I can be, and be that peaceful presence, to more often being a higher vibrational loving being with compassion and understanding that can be facing a challenging circumstance and still be present. That I'm here to teach, and that I'm here to thrive, that I'm here to create and express whatever that might be. And without caring, did I become rich and famous? But knowing that every day I'm living from a more authentic, passion-fueled life. And that passion-fueled life can also be very subtle, but that reward of being in an authentic flow in life, no matter what's going on and no matter what others are telling me. And sometimes we can do this, we can start thinking about, well, how can I turn what I'm doing into my purpose? What purpose might take me the furthest, and so forth. And what happens when we're doing that is we've jumped from the heart and our authenticity and our alignment with spirit back up into the head. And we can overthink. We can put a value system on a purpose based on how we've been enculturated to believe what's of value and what's not, what's taboo, what's fair game. And so, this is such an incredible mix. It has so many facets, and yet we can come to that authentic alignment in which we're flowing in it and both putting purpose and passion together. So let's talk more about that. Going back to passion for a second, it's our why. It's an energy, a feeling, something that captivates our interest, where we go, wow, I want to learn more about this. Or I want to do more of this. How can I rearrange my schedule to allow more of this to be in my life? And it motivates us and helps us to be diligent and dedicated and more productive, actually. It's like, if I'm adding something to my life because it gives me joy, okay, let me be more productive in those other areas of my life so that I have the space and the time to roll out that welcome mat and open the door to my passion. And it's what we do. Passion is what we do without feeling stressed or compelled. We just do it naturally. We would do it for free, and sometimes we do, like as a hobby or some sports activity, for example. Now, purpose. So passion is our why. It's that juiciness. Purpose is the what. It's that which gives direction and conviction. It's why the fire was lit. What are we doing with our lives? So we might look at, for example, what issues out there in the world really bother me and that I continue to think about, well, if only this could change, how different it would be. And when we think about a world that works for everyone, each and every one of us may be called to have some purpose in our life that contributes to that. It could be, what visions do we have for ourselves, for our family, for the world, for what we do in life? And it may not be grandiose in size, but even if it's small, there is the power within quantum physics, the power of subtle action. So it may not be something grandiose, but it can still be grandiose and powerful in effect. That smile at the right time to the right person that day, opening the door, those are things that, we are showing up as part of our purpose to serve, and never knowing the gift and, what that gift brings to the person who's receiving. Or we might also want to say, what legacy am I choosing to leave behind? And that can help us to define our purpose. I don't know if you've heard of Simon Sinek, or perhaps you've seen. Simon Sinek has a full TED Talk recorded in 2009 called Start with Why. I've watched it numerous times, and I'd like to share that it is the 4th most watched TED Talk ever. It's that incredible. And to some extent, he's essentially bringing metaphysics into the business realm, because he's a business consultant, either organizationally and or brand marketing. And so he poses this question: how do we explain things that have unexpectedly derailed? Or how do we explain when something that's so improbable, there's somebody that comes along and actually achieves it? And in that regard, he refers to Martin Luther King, for example, the Wright brothers. And what he said is, inspired leaders have a way of communicating, and they all do it the same way. Everybody else does it in a different way. And what he did was he identified what that communication pattern is. He comes up with what he calls the golden circle, and it's 3 concentric rings. So it looks like a target. And at the very center of the target, the innermost area is why. The next ring out is how, and the outer ring of the target is what. And so what he said is, most people start by talking about what they do, how they do what they do, and perhaps they never get to the why. But he said inspired leaders and people who have been very successful, whether it's Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Apple, for example, he said where they start is they start with why, what they're about, and why can also be not only passion but purpose. And they start there, and then they go into how and what they do. And he gave some examples of Apple. He said most computer companies say, we make computers, and they're simple to use and user-friendly. But he says Apple starts, for example, by saying, we like to look beyond conventional thinking. We like to see things in a new way. And in doing that, we make digital technologies such as computers that are beautifully designed, that are easy to use, and are user-friendly. It's almost identical words, but they've flipped the order. They've started with the why, they've started with the passion, they've started with the purpose, before they get into the facts and figures and nuts and bolts and logistics and so forth. And he said, this is what's interesting, is that this pattern that is so effective is based on our human brain. that the neocortex is that part of our brain that is focused on the what. It's rational, it's analytical thought, it's language-based. It does not drive human behavior. And most of us think of that, I think, as the left brain. But he said we also have two limbic brains. And these are the middle sections of that target, the why and the how. So the neocortex, the rational, analytical thinking brain, is that outer rim of what. The limbic brains that we have are the how and the why and the how. And he said these parts of the brain, the two limbic brains, are responsible for feelings, human behavior, and decision making. This is where gut instinct comes from. And these parts of our brain do not operate they don't have a capacity for language. So we have, it's like we have such a dualistic brain, and we are always juggling how to weave these together. And oftentimes, one sort of, the balance is not in balance and working together as well as it could be. He said, we can hear about all the facts and figures about those wonderful computers, and it just leaves us, well, I don't know, everybody's doing the same thing. But the limbic brain is the brain that says, I hear all those facts and figures, somehow it just doesn't feel right. My gut instinct says I should do this. So it's behavior, it drives behavior, it drives decisions, and it's based on feelings. And so when we talk from that center point of our passion and our purpose, our why, we are talking directly to others in that part of their brain that is related to behavior and decision making. And that is a far more powerful place to be in relationship with others in the world. Now, the other thing is, when we look at that target of Simon Sinek, when we, most people are starting from the outside, the external, and working in. We know in our faith, in our philosophy, that we believe in aligning, getting centered, being in alignment with that truth that is ours, and that we think and live from the inside out. And so that brings us back. He's aligning with that saying about being a spiritual being, having a human experience, being in the world but not of it. And that's where we align when we're coming from and putting passion and purpose together. So I want to close in mentioning a wonderful series that I watched recently. I watched Star Trek Next Generation. It's Captain Picard and Data and Spock and others. There's a series now called Picard. It's 3 seasons. It's masterful. It's amazing. And it is blending all that sci-fi technology and futurism and so forth in with the human spirit. And each of the key characters from the team that's on the bridge, plus the medic, and Diana Troy, who is the intuitive. Each of them, the series looks at them decades later, when they are in their elder years in life, and how they have matured, how their passion and purpose were present when they were younger and serving on the ship, but how that has converted and transformed into the legacy that they are. And going back through their life and releasing still some of what is residue from the past so that they come into much more wholeness and completeness of spiritual human and that camaraderie camaraderie that's still there. And I want to mention that what's interesting in that cast is there's two characters that do not have passion, both Data and Spock. And Data yearns for feelings. And I don't know if you'll get a chance to watch the series or not, so this is sort of a spoiler alert. There's something that happens where Data is blessed with experiencing feelings. And Spock is that hybrid, like we are, but he's the hybrid that's focused on that neocortex, that rational, logical brain, and sort of gets confused when it comes to passion and human feeling. And yet, there are shifts in both of them within this as well. So perhaps that can inspire you on this journey of passion and purpose, finding them, weaving them together, and transforming your life and being more alive. In closing, yes, Ernest Holmes recognizes passions, feelings, emotions. He does it more on the light side within the text. I think that shifted in later years. And knowing that we're open at the top, seeing that Home Office has brought this forward as a theme for the month is our signal too that we're recognizing, that we are this blend and they complement each other in such a life-affirming and vitality-giving way. God created us this way, mind, heart, and passion. So as divinely created beings, let us embrace that partnering of our passion and purpose, knowing that we are always divinely guided, always. And it can happen in the most unlikely ways, as long as we just say, okay, I can't explain it in the moment, but I'm going to go with this. And that, yes, that allowing, that willingness is where that passion and purpose can find its way in. This is how we live authentically as the divine beings that we are. And this is how we live, allowing God to more fully express in us and through us. Creatively, with a fulfilled lifetime, joyously. Let's take this into prayer. Great Spirit, we recognize you as that one power, one presence, one life, everywhere present, in, as, and through every point of creation. Everywhere present, everywhere active, everywhere, with love unlimited, divinely guided and inspiring each and every one of us. As emanations, sparks of this divine being, we know that we are always and forever one with God. And so we say, yes, yes, I'm here to live my fullest. I'm here to live the most exciting, most rewarding, most fulfilling, most joy-filled, most creatively expressing, most rewarding life that we can. And I fully trust in you, God, always in every moment, that not only do you have my back, you have my forward in the sense that I know that guidance is ever present. Support is always given without question, without measure. And I choose to open myself to saying yes and allowing that bounty, that guidance, that support, that inspiration to be present within me and live and express through me. And for this, I am grateful, I am excited, I am thrilled, and I joyously say, Thank you, God. Thank you. I accept, and so it is. Blessings.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Jenna. And next, we'll have a musical selection from Safi.
Love, compassion, grace, and humility, faith, laughter, tears of joy. Hope, greatness, power, and agility, no hatred, all love one. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? It's not that we don't care. It's just that we're so unaware. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Join hearts together. We are all one. Peace, blessings, glory, and judgment, light flow, accept and change. Soul growth, walk in balance, no fear, unashamed. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Rushing through the air. Love surrounds us everywhere. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Join hearts together. We are all one. Heart, mind, control and knowing, trust, guide, belief and truth. Transformation, affirmative balance, no problems here unto. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Love is everywhere. Don't hold back, it's yours to share. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Join hearts together. We are all
I can feel it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to just stress again how beautiful today's service was. I really appreciate Reverend Jenna for her message and Safi for her beautiful music. And we just love and appreciate you. Our vision and mission as CSL Greater Baltimore is that we're demonstrating a world that works for all with one life affirming thought, word, deed, feeling, and one human interaction at a time. And our mission is to provide our community with the tools, techniques, and talents of the science and mind and religious science offer, that they awaken to the divine truth of their being for the purpose of living life to the fullest and really percolating with passion and purpose. If that wasn't delivering that to us, yes, 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 indeed. Jerice, I'm just going to show this to everyone because, yes, we can feel it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Safi. And so, where we continue to be fed by this beautiful service, our music, our spiritual practices, the morning meditation, and really delivering for you all. I hope a beautiful service. You know, if you're spiritually fed, we ask that you consider consciously investing with Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. You can do that through many ways. You can donate, you can tithe through PayPal, and our name is CSL Greater Baltimore. You can do it through Givelify or text messaging for this number that's here, or using the regular snail mail, and you'll contact Sue Monahan, our treasurer, to find out how you can mail your donation or tithe. And we thank you so much for your support. And if you are aligned with our declaration of financial wealth and abundance, we invite you to say with me, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my talent, my treasure, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And so it is. And so it is. So if you would like the practitioner on duty, Frank, to pray with you, join us via Zoom and type prayer in the chat. We'll also be visioning today after service. And so you can, again, go to cslgreaterbaltimore.com or .org to get the information to join the Zoom room. And we hope that you are joining us and help us envision what we're putting together next, what we're delivering next for CSL Greater Baltimore. So we thank you for joining us today. You're awesome. We love you. Wherever you are, thank you. And so I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Jenna for our closing prayer.
God is the creator of all that exists with passion and purpose. God created each and every one of us with passion and purpose and helped us along with our unique talents and abilities. And so I know with each and every one of us, we can affirm this together. I say yes to being the fullest expression of God with my talents, my passion, and my purpose. And so it is.